Very good afternoon to you folks, and welcome to the Sugathadasa Indoor Stadium, where we are witnessing the dawn of the Battle of the Fast Break 2026, the inaugural handball big match of 2026 held between St. Paul's College Milagiriya versus Devi Balika Vidyalaya. Of course, we are live from Sugathadasa Indoor Stadium, Colombo. The crowds are filling in slowly but surely, bit for the witness of this exciting encounter.
To welcome our distinguished guests. It is my great honor to formally invite our chief guest,
And
General of the Sports Ministry,
quite a while beforehand, we had the junior age categories duking it out here
President of
on the court.
Federation, and the
St. Paul's Milagiriya were quite dominant throughout the age categories, and
guests who have
the senior
joined us today.
women from the Balika Vidyalaya will be hoping that they are able to mount a comeback for the final bout of the Battle of the Fast Break. And just now on your screen you will be able to see that we are preparing for the player introductions and the inauguration of the final game of this tournament. Here, supporters, school members, all girls, alumni, family members, supporters, well-wishers, all filing in slowly but surely into the stands at Sugathadasa.
Now the both teams are receiving the best wishes from our chief guest, guest of honor, and the madam principals of the both schools.
You heard it, folks. Here on your screens we can see the players being honored and lauded. So important to establish traditions here. This is the first ever handball encounter between these two colleges, and it will be no doubt the start of a momentous sporting encounter between these two institutions, so well cemented in the school circuit in Sri Lanka. And they'll be headed back to the dugout, into the dressing room, where they will go through final preparations for what is no doubt set to be a very exciting match. And it's going to be all nerves for them for the next couple of minutes until the start of play. And with that, folks, we are all set for the Battle of the Fast Break to begin, but we'll catch you on the other side after this short commercial break. Stay tuned.
This is not just cricket. This is passion. This is pride. This is Pakistan's biggest T20 spectacle. Watch every boundary, every wicket, every unforgettable moment of the Pakistan Super League 2026. Live on the Papare 1 and the Papare 1 HD, Dialog Play App and thepapare.com.
හයේ පහරවල් දියුණු කඩුළු දවා ගැනීම මේ කිසිම දෙයක් මගහැරගන්න එපා. කොතැන සිටියත් ඕනෑම වෙලාවක සජීවීව IPL අත්දැකීම දැන් ඔබේ අතටම. IPL උන්මාදයට Dialog Play සමග එක්වන්න. අදම Dialog Play App එක ඩවුන්ලෝඩ් කර රුපියල් 268ක් රීලෝඩ් කරන්න. Star Sports නාලිකා ඔස්සේ මුළු IPL තරගාවලියම සජීවීව නරඹන්න.
Schools Rugby is back. The Dialog Schools Rugby Knockouts 2026 ignites the season. Defending dreams or shattering rivals? Who's claiming glory in 2026? Watch the action live on Dialog Television, Dialog Play, and ThePapare.com. Schools Rugby Unleashed. Epic rivalries reignited. The big match season is here. Iconic showdowns from Colombo to Kandy, from Mathura to Jaffna. Battle of the Blues, Maroons, Saints, Brothers, and so much more. Witness history as the future stars clash for glory. Big Match Season 2026. Big Match Season 2026. Live on Sri Lanka's #1 sports channel. Sri Lanka's #1 sports channel.
The biggest spectacle in franchise cricket, Indian Premier League, is back for another thrilling season. Sri Lanka's finest stars and the global icons are ready to set the grandest stage of them all ablaze. Every six that shakes the stadium, every yorker that silences the crowd, every moment that stops your heart. Don't just watch it, feel it. Live on ThePapare.com.
This happened. Oh, what an effort. Good technique.
Elevate your game with ThePapare, Sri Lanka's ultimate sports destination. Together, we unite a nation through the love of sports. Tune in to ThePapare, your home for all things sports. Live the action, feel the excitement. In the heart of Colombo, where pride is inherited and rivalries are written in history.
And he's out caught. That was a good catch.
This is not just another match. This is the battle for Luke Shield glory. Two giants, two legacies, one battle. Catch all the action live on the Papare 2, Dialog Play App, and ThePapare.com. Elevate your game with ThePapare, Sri Lanka's ultimate sports destination. Experience every heartbeat and every goal like never before. From cricket to football, rugby to athletics, we capture the spirit of every sport that ignites our passion. Relive legendary moments, exclusive interviews, and expert commentary, all in one place. Join us for live coverage of thrilling matches and events, bringing you closer to the action. Together, we unite a nation through the love of sports. Tune in to ThePapare, your home for all things sports. Live the action, feel the excitement.
ලොව අංක එකේ ක්‍රිකට් සැනකෙළිය නැවතත් තියුණු තරගකාරීත්වයේ උණුසුම දැන් ඔබේ නිවසටම IPL උන්මාදයට Dialog Television සමග එක්වන්න. රුපියල් 397කට IPL පාස් එක සක්‍රිය කරගෙන මුළු IPL සීසන් එකම Star Sports නාලිකා ඔස්සේ නරඹන්න. සක්‍රිය කිරීමට ඔබේ දුරකථනයෙන් on හිස්තැනක් DTV හිස්තැනක් ඔබේ ගෙනුම් අංකය හිස්තැනක් 2026 ලෙස ටයිප් කර 0770 679 679ට SMS කරන්න.
This is not just cricket. This is passion. This is pride. This is Pakistan's biggest T20 spectacle. Watch every boundary, every wicket, every unforgettable moment of the Pakistan Super League 2026. Live on the Papare 1 and the Papare 1 HD, Dialog Play App and ThePapare.com.
හයේ පහරවල් දියුණු කඩුලු දවා ගැනීම මේ කිසිම දෙයක් මගහැරගන්න එපා. කොතැන සිටියත් ඕනෑම වෙලාවක සජීවීව IPL අත්දැකීම දැන් ඔබේ අතටම. IPL උන්මාදයට Dialog Play සමග එක්වන්න. අදම Dialog Play App එක ඩවුන්ලෝඩ් කර රුපියල් 278ක් රීලෝඩ් කරන්න. Star Sports නාලිකා ඔස්සේ මුළු IPL තරගාවලියම සජීවීව නරඹන්න.
Schools Rugby is back. The Dialog Schools Rugby Knockouts 2026 ignites the season. Defending dreams or shattering rivals? Who's claiming glory in 2026? Watch the action live on Dialog Television, Dialog Play, and ThePapare.com. Schools Rugby Unleashed. Epic rivalries reignited. The big match season is here. Iconic showdowns from Colombo to Kandy, from Mathura to Jaffna. Battle of the Blues, Maroons, Saints, Brothers, and so much more. Witness history as the future stars clash for glory. Big Match Season 2026. Live on Sri Lanka's #1 sports channel.
The biggest spectacle in franchise cricket, Indian Premier League, is back for another thrilling season. Sri Lanka's finest stars and the global icons are ready to set the grandest stage of them all ablaze. Every six that shakes the stadium, every yorker that silences the crowd, every moment that stops your heart. Don't just watch it, feel it. Live on ThePapare.com.
This happened. Oh, what an effort. Good technique.
Elevate your game with the Papare, Sri Lanka's ultimate sports destination. Together, we unite a nation through the love of sports. Tune in to the Papare, your home for all things sports. Live the action, feel the excitement. In the heart of Colombo, where pride is inherited and rivalries are written in history.
And he's out caught. That was a good catch.
This is not just another match. This is the battle for Luke Shield glory. Two giants, two legacies, one battle. Catch all the action live on the Papare 2, Dialog Play App, and ThePapare.com. Elevate your game with the Papare, Sri Lanka's ultimate sports destination. Experience every heartbeat and every goal like never before. From cricket to football, rugby to athletics, we capture the spirit of every sport that ignites our passion. Relive legendary moments, exclusive interviews, and expert commentary, all in one place. Join us for live coverage of thrilling matches and events, bringing you closer to the action. Together, we unite a nation through the love of sports. Tune in to the Papare, your home for all things sports. Live the action, feel the excitement.
ලොව අංක එකේ ක්‍රිකට් සැනකෙලිය නැවතත් තියුණු තරගකාරීත්වයේ උණුසුම දැන් ඔබේ නිවසටම IPL උන්මාදයට Dialog Television සමග එක්වන්න. රුපියල් 397කට IPL පාස් එක සක්‍රිය කරගෙන මුළු IPL සීසන් එකම Star Sports නාලිකා ඔස්සේ නරඹන්න. සක්‍රිය කිරීමට ඔබේ දුරකථනයෙන් on හිස්තැන DTV හිස්තැන ඔබේ ගෙනුම් අංකය හිස්තැන 2026 ලෙස ටයිප් කර 0770 679 679ට SMS කරන්න.
This is not just cricket. This is passion. This is pride. This is Pakistan's biggest T20 spectacle. Watch every boundary, every wicket, every unforgettable moment of the Pakistan Super League 2026. Live on the Papare 1 and the Papare 1 HD, Dialog Play App and ThePapare.com.
හයේ පහරවල් දියුණු කඩුලු දවා ගැනීම මේ කිසිම දෙයක් මගහැරගන්න එපා. කොතැන සිටියත් ඕනෑම වෙලාවක සජීවීව IPL අත්දැකීම දැන් ඔබේ අතටම. IPL උන්මාදයට Dialog Play සමග එක්වන්න. අදම Dialog Play App එක ඩවුන්ලෝඩ් කර රුපියල් 268ක් රීලෝඩ් කරන්න. Star Sports නාලිකා ඔස්සේ මුළු IPL තරගාවලියම සජීවීව නරඹන්න.
Schools Rugby is back. The Dialog Schools Rugby Knockouts 2026 ignites the season. Defending dreams or shattering rivals? Who's claiming glory in 2026? Watch the action live on Dialog Television, Dialog Play, and ThePapare.com. Schools Rugby Unleashed. Epic rivalries reignited. The big match season is here. Iconic showdowns from Colombo to Kandy, from Mathura to Jaffna. Battle of the Blues, Maroons, Saints, Brothers, and so much more. Witness history as the future stars clash for glory. Big Match Season 2026. Big Match Season 2026. Live on Sri Lanka's #1 sports channel. Sri Lanka's #1 sports channel.
In franchise cricket, Indian Premier League is back for another thrilling season. Sri Lanka's finest stars and the global icons are ready to set the grandest stage of them all ablaze. Every six that shakes the stadium, every yorker that silences the crowd, every moment that stops your heart. Don't just watch it, feel it. Live on ThePapare.com.
This happened. Oh, what an effort. Good technique.
The New Zealand under-85 kilo Warriors return to Sri Lanka for another doubleheader as the Tuskers prepare for thrilling challenges in Colombo and Kandy. Can Sri Lanka make an impact this time around, or will the visitors once again walk away with the trophy? Catch all the action live on the Papare 1 HD, the Dialog Play App, and ThePapare.com as the historic series unfolds for a second time.
Elevate your game with the Papare, Sri Lanka's ultimate sports destination. Together, we unite a nation through the love of sports. Tune in to the Papare, your home for all things sports. Live the action, feel the excitement. In the heart of Colombo, where pride is inherited and rivalries are written in history.
And he's out caught. That was a good catch.
This is not just another match. This is the battle for Luke Shield glory. Two giants, two legacies, one battle. Catch all the action live on the Papare 2, Dialog Play App and ThePapare.com. Elevate your game with the Papare, Sri Lanka's ultimate sports destination. Experience every heartbeat and every goal like never before. From cricket to football, rugby to athletics, we capture the spirit of every sport that ignites our passion. Relive legendary moments, exclusive interviews and expert commentary, all in one place. Join us for live coverage of thrilling matches and events, bringing you closer to the action. Together, we unite a nation through the love of sports. Tune in to the Papare, your home for all things sports. Live the action, feel the excitement.
ලොව අංක එකේ ක්‍රිකට් සැනකෙලිය නැවතත් තියුණු තරගකාරීත්වයේ උණුසුම දැන් ඔබේ නිවසටම IPL උන්මාදයට Dialog Television සමග එක්වන්න රුපියල් 397කට IPL පාස් එක සක්‍රිය කරගෙන මුළු IPL සීසන් එකම Star Sports නාලිකා ඔස්සේ නරඹන්න සක්‍රිය කිරීමට ඔබේ දුරකථනයෙන් on හිස්තැනක් DTV හිස්තැනක් ඔබේ ගෙනුම් අංකය හිස්තැනක් 2026 ලෙස ටයිප් කර 0770 679 679ට SMS කරන්න.
This is not just cricket. This is passion. This is pride. This is Pakistan's biggest T20 spectacle. Watch every boundary, every wicket, every unforgettable moment of the Pakistan Super League 2026. Live on the Papare 1 and the Papare 1 HD, Dialog Play App and ThePapare.com.
හයේ පහරවල් දියුණු කඩුළු දවා ගැනීම මේ කිසිම දෙයක් මගහැරගන්න එපා. කොතැන සිටියත් ඕනෑම වෙලාවක සජීවීව IPL අත්දැකීම දැන් ඔබේ අතටම. IPL උන්මාදයට Dialog Play සමග එක්වන්න. අදම Dialog Play app එක ඩවුන්ලෝඩ් කර රුපියල් 268ක් රීලෝඩ් කරන්න. Star Sports නාලිකා ඔස්සේ මුළු IPL තරගාවලියම සජීවීව නරඹන්න.
Schools Rugby is back. The Dialog Schools Rugby Knockouts 2026 ignites the season. Defending dreams or shattering rivals? Who's claiming glory in 2026? Watch the action live on Dialog Television, Dialog Play, and ThePapare.com. Schools Rugby Unleashed. Epic rivalries reignited. The big match season is here. Iconic showdowns from Colombo to Kandy, from Mathura to Jaffna. Battle of the Blues, Maroons, Saints, Brothers, and so much more. Witness history as the future stars clash for glory. Big Match Season 2026. Big Match Season 2026. Live on Sri Lanka's #1 sports channel. Sri Lanka's #1 sports channel.
spectacle in franchise cricket. Indian Premier League is back for another thrilling season. Sri Lanka's finest stars and the global icons are ready to set the grandest stage of them all ablaze. Every six that shakes the stadium, every yorker that silences the crowd, every moment that stops your heart. Don't just watch it, feel it. Live on ThePapare.com.
This happened. Oh, what an effort. Good technique.
The New Zealand under 85 kilo Warriors return to Sri Lanka for another doubleheader as the Tuskers prepare for thrilling challenges in Colombo and Kandy. Can Sri Lanka make an impact this time around, or will the visitors once again walk away with the trophy? Catch all the action live on the Papare 1 HD, the Dialog Play App, and ThePapare.com as the historic series unfolds for a second time.
Elevate your game with the Papare, Sri Lanka's ultimate sports destination. Together, we unite a nation through the love of sports. Tune in to the Papare, your home for all things sports. Live the action, feel the excitement. In the heart of Colombo, where pride is inherited and rivalries are written in history.
And he's out caught. That was a good catch.
This is not just another match. This is the battle for Luke Shield glory. Two giants, two legacies, one battle. Catch all the action live on the Papare 2, Dialog Play App, and ThePapare.com. Elevate your game with the Papare, Sri Lanka's ultimate sports destination. Experience every heartbeat and every goal like never before. From cricket to football, rugby to athletics, we capture the spirit of every sport that ignites our passion. Relive legendary moments, exclusive interviews, and expert commentary, all in one place. Join us for live coverage of thrilling matches and events, bringing you closer to the action. Together, we unite a nation through the love of sports. Tune in to the Papare, your home for all things sports. Live the action, feel the excitement.
ලොව අංක එකේ ක්‍රිකට් සැනකෙලිය නැවතත් තියුණු තරගකාරීත්වයේ උණුසුම දැන් ඔබේ නිවසටම IPL උන්මාදයට Dialog Television සමග එක්වන්න. රුපියල් 397කට IPL පාස් එක සක්‍රිය කරගෙන මුළු IPL සීසන් එකම Star Sports නාලිකා ඔස්සේ නවමන්න. සක්‍රිය කිරීමට ඔබේ දුරකථනයෙන් on හිස්තැන DTV හිස්තැන ඔබේ ගෙනුම් අංකය හිස්තැන 2026 ලෙස ටයිප් කර 0770 679 679ට SMS කරන්න.
This is not just cricket. This is passion. This is pride. This is Pakistan's biggest T20 spectacle. Watch every boundary, every wicket, every unforgettable moment of
Welcome back, folks, to the Battle of the Fast Break, the first ever handball encounter between St. Paul's College Milagiriya and Devi Vidyalaya Colombo. And right now we are witnessing the start of the final game of this tournament, the grand final. And here we see the side from Balika warming up. The pivot. SPC is warming up and going through their drills. Devi Balika preparing for their walkout. It's a momentous occasion for both sides. No doubt the start of a thrilling sporting encounter and a sporting tradition to be cherished between both schools. After a slight delay in proceedings, we are back on track.
Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the ground as we proudly welcome the players of Devi Vidyalaya entering the arena with remarkable pride under the school flag. Please put your hands together for Devi Vidyalaya Colombo.
Here come the Devians from Colombo 8. During the earlier game, St. Paul's Milagiriya were able to have quite the commanding lead, but Devi Balika will be no doubt looking to bring the fight and clinch the title. And I think the two sides are lining up for their respective school anthems. I think in a short while the game will be underway. Faces telling quite the story here. Some excited, some nerves. This goes to show how important this fixture is for both these sides. And while we wait, folks, here's the team readout for you from Devi Balika Vidyalaya. We have Tinuli, Esini, Umindi, Mutumali, Mitli, Udamsa, Manisha, Linuki. And filing out the bench is Adivka, Usandi, Linletu, Navani, Shanuki, Sadasi, Ayan and Suhansa. And filing out the first 7 for SPM is Tarani, Harini, Vituli, Leomini, Sigeli.
අභිමානවත් දේවි මාතාවට ගෞරව කරමින් එක්ව ගයමු පාසලේ අභිමානවත් රිද්මය.
Right, folks, I think we're just about ready to get things underway. Both sides will be itching to step onto the court to commence play. It's going to be a game of 2 halves, 30 minutes each. 7 players on the court, and each goal will carry 1 point. And that's just about the basic rule breakdown for you folks joining in and catching a game of handball for the first time. And here's the toss for you. Yeah, it seems like, by the look of things, St. Paul's Milagiriya have won the toss and have chosen to start from the right side of your screens. Here's the players going through the final formalities before play commences. So this tournament has been a best of 3 format, and so far it's looking to be a tough situation for the Balika. It's a bit of a dead rubber for St. Paul's Milagiriya, who have already won 2 games coming into the final game. And as the format is a best of 3 round, the Balika will be looking to play for pride and walk away with a moral victory here. And we are moments away from beginning the battle of the first ever battle of the fast break. The first ever handball encounter between St. Paul's Milagiriya and Devi Balika Vidyalaya. Devi Balika with the start. Udamsa, the pivot. And it's game time. Away we go. Pihanza throwing it back to the right back. Again, just moving up the court. Trying to pivot side to side. Going for an audacious first strike. And Devi Balika already on the front foot.
Just like that, Devi Balika Vidyalaya has scored their first goal.
It's going to be a quick restart for St. Paul's Milagiriya. And just like that, within the first 40 minutes, St. Paul's Milagiriya back with the return. That's not allowed. It's a line out that has gone the wrong way for St. Paul's Milagiriya, and Devi Balika again on the rebound. The right back fumbling. She's driving the ball in. Right back, lobbing it in, finding no one on that pass. Quickly intercepted by their pivot, who's playing out in front. That's lobbed out down the wing. Devi Balika gets a foul. That's a strike off the woodwork, off the top bar. Thrown back in. Devi Balika so far keeping a tight account on possession. Going for a lot of attempts here. St. Paul's Milagiriya working their way from the back with a good feint, driving it down the middle of the court, driving it in. And that's saved by the top bar. So far looking to be a fast-paced play here. Lots of space out for the pocket. Right back throwing it in to number 15, Suhansa. That's intercepted by the skipper for St. Paul's, and that's the first points on the board for St. Paul's Milagiriya off the hand of Leomini, who drove it in beautifully, who intercepted it magnificently. St. Paul's Milagiriya once again with the long lob. Here's Leomini again driving it in, and it's the second goal for SPC. Devi Balika now on the back foot, just trying to get up a set sequence going. Lob thrown. In possession, Leomini locked down. There will be a foul for Devi Balika, who will be retreating into the defensive area. Here important to note, good attempt by SPC, but nonetheless a good block by the goalie. Devi Balika losing the plot slightly here. They have to keep their composure. They were able to draw first blood, but right now just lobbing it along, trying to get something going. Could have worked it down the middle, but that number 16 is pulling a lot of weight. Omindi now lobbed towards the left flank. That pivot out in front, just waiting to poach that ball and put it into the net. Deviants with possession, they've been able to hold on, but points on the board, not yet. Driving it in, number 15, and that's the second goal. That's Suhansa once again, the pivot. She was waiting to poach that ball. Leomini working it in, trying to find pocket, keeping the ball back in, dribbling it in down to the left flank, going for an audacious shot there right down the middle, but unsuccessful. That's a good intercept from St. Paul's Milagiriya. Bit of rough play here. Long lob down to Leomini. Will she be able to get points on the board? That's straight into the goalie's hands. It's a penalty for Leomini, the pivot. And it's goal number 3 for St. Paul's Milagiriya. Extremely confident player this girl is. Again, Leomini playing out in front, trying to lock down that build-up. That's a long lob from Suhansa. Omindi, rather. She's been the driver in that Deviant attack. Leomini choosing to retreat into the back. Number 4. Goal not allowed for St. Paul's Milagiriya. It's still 3-2. There Balika now driving it in again. They can afford. Here's Suhansa being caught off guard. It's a corner. Lobbing it back to the number 4. Good intercept by St. Paul's Milagiriya. Leomini working it in towards front. That's an infringement. A technical. Yeah, Devian defense just running rough shot here. Leomini. She's been the goal scorer for SPC. Just trying to delegate number 6 with a massive lob. And that's Sigeli finding herself on the score sheet. Oh no. Brilliant intercept by Leomini, who has her eye on the game. That's the 4th goal for the talisman for St. Paul's Milagiriya. Looking to run away with the game now. Devi Balika with an audacious lob from the half court, but unable to find the back of the net. St. Paul's Milagiriya bringing the defenders in and then working it in, finding the gap. Number 14 being locked down here, just looking for options. Moving towards the number 6. Absolutely no defense put up. And it's the number 6, Sigeli, with goal number 2 for St. Paul's Milagiriya. Getting out ahead in front. Dangerous. This side is looking. Number 16 trying to drive it down the middle. That pivot still looking to get her hands on the ball. It's not a strategy that seems to be working for her. That long lob doing wonders for Leomini. And it's another goal. Yeah, we're going to be seeing that celebration an awful lot. It's going to be like the Balika need to cool their jets and try and not work the same plan. It's a timeout. 7-2 is the score in the first half. Almost 1/3 of the way gone. Dire straits for the Devians, who have looked out of sorts. They've been trying to execute that same plan. Throw it off to the left back and work it down the wing. But it hasn't worked in their favor. That poach out in front, the pivot, has not been able to get her hands. And these are the highlights of the first 10 minutes of the game for you folks. The Balika were able to draw first blood, but it was this young woman, Leomini, the skipper for SPC. Brilliant penalty, but and Sigeli with a couple, a brace to her name. Again, just Leomini had the eye on the game and was able to do the bulk of the goal scoring. Absolutely no defense put up for Sigeli's second. That goalkeeper absolutely helpless. Long lob from the defense, allowing Leomini once again to get out in front. Devi Balika will be hoping that this timeout will be able to give them a bit of a reset in terms of what they need to do, and hopefully they can stick to their game plan and modify it if necessary. It's only 2 timeouts allowed per half, and it's a maximum of 3 timeouts per game. So they need to be economical about usage of the timeouts as well. Udamsa trying to work it once again, just turnover. Leomini passing it on to the number 20. Leomini once again going for goal, but just being physically handled by the Devian defense. The goalie, Dulansa, going in for the penalty. This is going to be interesting. Goalie versus goalie. Couple of feints there. And she picked the right ball. But nothing doing for the Balika, who had another point to their tally. Looking a bit better. Good intercept game from St. Paul's Milagiriya. The Balika have been able to hold on for possession, but they haven't been able to work their way and work that ball to the poacher out in front. Number 6. Brilliant block there from St. Paul's. Corner lob. Long lob here. This could be an opening, but good defensive wall put up by St. Paul's. Just trying to work their way in. Brilliant block from Setini. Again, once more, a brilliant block by the goalie. Just being put to a lot of work here. Here's Udamsa, the pivot. Just trying to work that dummy. Doesn't go quite her way. Being locked down by the number 20 for St. Paul's, Harini. Long lob down to the 15. Once again trying to work that left wing, but locked down again and again. This is not a strategy that seems to be working for the Deviants, but right now they can't seem to be doing anything other than trying to go for that lob, but goes down. Here's Metli passing it once again to Omindi. Finally, a point on the board for Devi Balika. Just rolling it along to Leomini, who passes it on to Sigeli. Yeah, these three have had a lot of synergy, passing it on to that left wing, but a good defensive wall being put up by Devi Balika now. But Leomini is able to lob it with an overhead. Huge presence on the court, this young lady. The number 16 once again trying to go for the counter attack with the overhead lob, but missing the top bar. Leomini with the slow jog upwards, passing it on towards the wing. Once again, just trying to bypass. Good effort from the goalie for Devi Balika. Good intercept. Is it Leomini? Can she find the back of the net once again? That's called offside. 9-3. Devi Balika are still very much able to get themselves back in the game. Leomini passing it on to Sigeli. Big, long levers is the number 14 Tarani passing it out to Leomini. Here's Sigeli. Will she go for the overhead lob? Yes, she does, but misses the woodwork. Here's the pivot with a beautiful intercept pass, but yards back for St. Paul's Milagiriya with the overhead lob. Here's Udamsa once again. Number 16 going for that dummy. Leomini once again picking that intercept. Another point on the board for St. Paul's Milagiriya, who are running right here at the Sugathadasa Indoor Stadium. Well, the PA system tells you the story, folks. It's looking to be a one-sided affair here in this first half. Devi Balika need to work on their defense and their lobbing, proving themselves vulnerable. Oh, that was a good lob from the far corner by Sanduni. The goalkeeper for Devi Balika looking to keep the game going here. With the line out throw, passes it on to Sigeli. Yes, Devi Balika passing the job on to Udamsa. Down to Omindi once again, trying to get a movement going. Omindi available out in front, but that intercept game is very strong. Good lob, but intercepted by the goalkeeper. Here's Leomini once again finding absolutely no one on the defense, but passing it on to Sigeli, who goes in for a thundercracker. And it's another point on the board. These two out in front are looking absolutely dangerous. Here's Suhansa going for the lob. That was the number 9, Thinley, rather. Fits and starts for the Balika, but unable to get something going and get points on the board. Here's Leomini again. She's been such a court-to-court player, just covering the entire court. Work rate is extremely high. Here's Sigeli. Good block by the goalkeeper this time around. Can they get something going? Leomini looking proactive. Poor lob, but a good effort from the number 15, Suhansa. Leomini once again working her way through the back, lobbing it out in front. That's the number 20. Of course, the ball passes to Leomini, going for the overhead lob. Absolute beauty, that one, going for the volley. Just looking quite depowered. Players looking locked down. That spread is just not there. The big number 16 trying to get something going. Quite frustrated here. Devi Balika have not been able to get past that defense. Going for the shock lob. Almost worked there, but good eye on the goalkeeper for St. Paul's. The pass to Leomini, trying to be intercepted. That's good. Devi Balika learning from their mistakes. Sigeli passing it back on to Leomini, who passes it on to the winger. Leomini, who might be going for the volley again. Once more, just going away with the game. This is going to be a tough day in the office for these young ladies from the Balika College. Here's the big number 16 going for that overhead lob, and finally her plans well executed. That was Omindi who got points on the board for the Balika College. Wayward lob from the far corner. Nonetheless, the Balika dragging themselves back into the game. They have quite the task ahead of them. 9 points is the deficit. But this girl Omindi has been the powerhouse for the Balika College. She's been the driver for sure. Muthumali to Omindi with the far lob. That's good. Try to drag the 38 out. Once again, a really good block. But the Balika still with possession. Can Omindi try and go for that high lob once again? Picking the gap now. Good stuff. Leomini very happy to keep the ball moving slowly but surely towards the opponent's court. Going for that set piece now. Oh dear. That defense is not fooled though. Here's Omindi. The Balika looking a bit more composed. Surely they can get something going. Lure Leomini in for that intercept if they are able to get past her. Omindi, the driver. Leomini going for that intercept. It's play on, says the referee. Another point on the board for St. Paul's Milagiriya. This might just be how the rest of the game plays out for you folks. She is absolutely dominant. Devi Balika looking to make something of themselves with the long lob out in front. This might be something. Just not a lot of power on that long lob. Here's Leomini, who was waiting for that far court lob, but locked down. Ball turns over for Devi Balika. They are able to get their set pieces going now, just unable to find the ball. Omindi coming back in to relieve the pressure for the pivot, who's working her way from the back. Again, just they need to be settled. Long lob, but a little passive. Leomini missing that lob. Omindi needs to drive her way. Plenty of space out in the middle. Bit selfish in my eyes. Could have been the start of something. 10 points once again the deficit. Leomini calm as you would like. Giving the ball to Sigeli. Passing it on to that number 23. They've been going for goal off that left corner. It's not been working out for them so far. St. Paul's won't mind one bit. They are out in front. Around 7 minutes left for the action in the first half. Overhead lob to Omindi, who is calmly advancing, trying to lock her down. Good stuff from the Balika here. Again, that lob, that final lob is the weak element now. Leomini here with a good intercept. It's another point on the board for St. Paul's Milagiriya. It's 15-4 now. An absolute massacre. Here's Omindi trying to make something here. A lot of players just coming in towards the middle, not utilizing the wing. And that long lob as well. The goalie for St. Paul's Milagiriya, on the other hand, has been so well in utilizing that space. Again, that long lob. Sigeli chases after it, but it's meters back. Here's Omindi once again trying to go for that big lob, but good defensive work. Sigeli and Setuni and Leumini are working with a lot of synergy. That rebound game has been really good for St. Paul's Milagiriya. Here's Omindi trying to drive it down the right corner. It works in her favor. Once again.
Another goal for Devi Balika Vidyalaya. Please put your hands together.
Yeah, she's been doing the hard yards. And it's a timeout requested by St. Paul's Milagiriya. With 5 minutes, just under 5 minutes left to go on the clock. So it will just be the one timeout left. And we are back after the timeout for the last couple of minutes for the first half. St. Paul's Milagiriya with the restart. Throwing it back to Sigeli, who looks to be driving it in. Here's Leumini with the overhand lob, and one immediately with the switch up in game plans. She looks to be coming in from behind. Here's Omindi once again trying to go for that huge overhead lob, but good intercept attempt from Devi Balika. That defensive wall for St. Paul's Milagiriya looking impervious with the feint, trying to work it in. Omindi once again trying to go for that overhand lob. Good intercept. Omindi passing the job, but unfortunately that number 8 Metli for the Balika College has just not looked that well composed in front of goal. Here's Sigeli driving it in towards that left winger. There we go. Better this time. Goal not allowed. Yeah, that left winger really shouldn't be looking to score for St. Paul's Milagiriya instead of trying to take the defenders on. Omindi looking to be running out of gas. They'll be looking forward to that half-time whistle. Just under 4 minutes left on the clock. There we go. Those two wingers just not looking very composed. They have been unable to utilize that space. But that goalie has been a nightmare. Here's Sigeli playing out in front. Yeah, Omindi and Metli trying to get something going. Apologies, Udamsa trying to create space. Again, those two wingers need to work at making space for themselves and getting an easy angle of attack for themselves. That's the danger for you folks. Leomini, the big number 38. Oh, this is proving to be a very good arrangement here for St. Paul's Milagiriya, who are rotating the attack using Sigeli and Leomini in tandem. Here's the big number 9 for Devi Balika, who is able to break through that defensive line. That was Tinuli. Good intercept. Yanumi passing it on to Leomini. The big number 9 had a big opening there but was unable. Etmi passing it on to Omindi. Now passing it wide. Covering a lot of ground here. Here's Metli. The big number 9 trying to go for it again. They may have a working strategy here, Devi Balika. But it's going to be a long uphill battle for them for sure. Here's Amindi. Yeah, that huge overhead lob down the middle seems to be working in their favor. Devi Balika, they've been able to capitalize on it on a couple of occasions. Here's Leomini once again just taking their sweet time. They have a commanding lead to play around with. Just looking to pass the ball around and kill some time. Here's Sigeli coming down the right wing. Missing out on points, but barely. Yeah, Leomini being substituted here. Well, that's going to be interesting. Trying to get something going. The number 9, Tinli, finding her feet now. Devi Balika might be able to get something going in the second half. They know what works now. Down the middle, St. Paul's Milagiriya have looked a tad bit complacent. They've not been putting up that defensive wall as much. Here's Leomini back in the thick of things again. 30 minutes on the clock for you folks. This could be the last play of the half. Down the wing. That has been the difference between St. Paul's and Devi Balika. That defense has been rock solid for St. Paul's Milagiriya. They've been locking down those wingers down, but the left winger for St. Paul's Milagiriya has been able to run riot in the corner against the goalie for Devi Balika. Trying to work something down the middle. The number 9 again just not find in the back of the net. Good intercept by Omindi. Ball in open play. The number 9 once again could be trying to get something going. Once again to Omindi with a big overhand lob. That is a point on the board for Devi Balika. Leomini with one final drive. That falls into no man's land. Well driven by Omindi. Here's the nippy number 9. Sigeli with an attempt for the overhand lob. Misses everything. But good drive from St. Paul's Milagiriya, who are looking to put the pressure back on Devi Balika. They've not been able to find a lot of points, but they have been able to exploit a few gaps. Looking much more composed now. St. Paul's Milagiriya might be concerned about being gassed out. Again, that number 8, unfortunately not looking her best in front of the net. Here's Sigeli passing it on to Leomini with the feint. It's another point. 18-7 is the score. Play going on. Here's Omindi lobbing it on to the far side. Lack of game awareness for Devi Balika. Again, that winger just being locked down. Those shots have just been poor. Long lob once again for Leomini, who has been so proactive in front of goal. And she gets closer and closer to that 20-goal mark. Here we go. Might be. No, unlucky. Once again, not allowed there. Long lob is the call. There we go. Sigeli finding the ball, but that will be Lemons. 19-8 is the score. St. Paul's Milagiriya have been running absolutely riot, and Devi Balika took so much time to settle into the game. And as we move into half-time, there is so much that has to be analyzed before we get to the second half. But we will be joining you after this short commercial break. Stay tuned with us, folks. This is looking to be an exciting game. Even though the Balika were able to draw first blood, it was Sigeli who opened the counter-attack. But after that, it was really Leomini's game for these 30 minutes. Just so sure of herself. The 15 and the 16 and the number 9 for the Balika College, the only threats in front of goal. The number 8, Metli for the Balika, looking quite weak on the shot. Omindi, the driver, was doing a lot, but Metli did really well to get in front of goal and create space for herself. If she could just work on executing the final lob, that could be a couple of extra points. But Leomini throughout just kept scoring the bulk of the scoring for both teams. Actually, it's been such a one-sided affair. The goalie even getting in on the action for St. Paul's Milagiriya. But the number 9 changed the momentum of things really. They were able to keep points on the board, but right now it's a 1-to-2 ratio of points on the board. 18-9. Leomini looking so proactive and really a class above everyone else on the court. Yeah, just a pregnant pause in the defense for Devi Balika. Just being able to exploit that overhead lob to brilliant effect. Devi Balika, on the other hand, looked to replicate it and could have gotten away with a lot more points, but just were unable to get the trajectory of those shots in good order. But Omindi was quite effective with a lot of attempted shots and a couple of points on the board as well. But those intercepts really harming the Devian defense, and Leomini just kept her eye on the ball. That long lob for St. Paul's Milagiriya, so effective for this young woman. Omindi trying to work things down the wing, and she was able to get into the points once again, just keeping Devi Balika in the game, but barely hanging on by a thread. Like we were saying, that number 9 coming down the middle and going for that overhead lob, with the wingers mounting pressure, with Omindi working really well in Devi Balika's favour. And when the courts are exchanged, it'll be interesting to see how they will be looking to work on that strategy. Leomini just giving it everything she's got. and there will be lemons for you folks. We'll be joining you in around 10 minutes or so, and we'll be seeing you soon. Stay tuned.
This is not just cricket. This is passion. This is pride. This is Pakistan's biggest T20 spectacle. Watch every boundary, every wicket, every unforgettable moment of the Pakistan Super League 2026. Live on the Papare 1 and the Papare 1 HD, Dialog Play App and ThePapare.com.
හයේ පහරවල් දියුණු කඩුළු දවා ගැනීම මේ කිසිම දෙයක් මගහැරගන්න එපා කොතැන සිටියත් ඕනෑම වෙලාවක සජීවීව IPL අත්දැකීම දැන් ඔබේ අතටම IPL උන්මාදයට Dialog Play සමග එක්වන්න අදම Dialog Play app එක ඩවුන්ලෝඩ් කර රුපියල් 268ක් රීලෝඩ් කරන්න Star Sports නාලිකා ඔස්සේ මුළු IPL තරගාවලියම සජීවීව නරඹන්න.
Schools Rugby is back. The Dialog Schools Rugby Knockouts 2026 ignites the season. Defending dreams or shattering rivals? Who's claiming glory in 2026? Watch the action live on Dialog Television, Dialog Play, and ThePapare.com. Schools Rugby Unleashed. Epic rivalries reignited. The big match season is here. Iconic showdowns from Colombo to Kandy, from Mathura to Jaffna. Battle of the Blues, Maroons, Saints, Brothers, and so much more. Witness history as the future stars clash for glory. Big Match Season 2026. Big Match Season 2026. Live on Sri Lanka's #1 sports channel. Sri Lanka's #1 sports channel.
In franchise cricket, Indian Premier League is back for another thrilling season. Sri Lanka's finest stars and the global icons are ready to set the grandest stage of them all ablaze. Every six that shakes the stadium, every yorker that silences the crowd, every moment that stops your heart. Don't just watch it, feel it. Live on ThePapare.com.
This happened. Oh, what an effort. Good technique.
The New Zealand under 85 kilo Warriors return to Sri Lanka for another doubleheader as the Tuskers prepare for thrilling challenges in Colombo and Kandy. Can Sri Lanka make an impact this time around, or will the visitors once again walk away with the trophy? Catch all the action live on the Papare 1 HD, the Dialog Play app, and ThePapare.com as the historic series unfolds for a second time.
Elevate your game with the Papare, Sri Lanka's ultimate sports destination. Together, we unite a nation through the love of sports. Tune in to the Papare, your home for all things sports. Live the action, feel the excitement. In the heart of Colombo, where pride is inherited and rivalries are written in history.
And he's out caught. That was a good catch.
This is not just another match. This is the battle for Luke Shield glory. Two giants, two legacies, one battlefield. Catch all the action live on the Papare 2, Dialog Play App, and ThePapare.com. Elevate your game with the Papare, Sri Lanka's ultimate sports destination. Experience every heartbeat and every goal like never before. From cricket to football, rugby to athletics, we capture the spirit of every sport that ignites our passion. Relive legendary moments, exclusive interviews and expert commentary. All
Welcome back, folks, to the inaugural battle of the fast break, the first ever handball encounter between St. Paul's College Milagiriya and Devi Balika Vidyalaya Colombo 8. So far, the scorecard tells you quite the story. St. Paul's Milagiriya were able to score 19 points and Devi Balika were able to put 9 points on the board in response. Once again, just giving you an update on the score for you folks. The scorecard tells you quite the story. 19-8 is the tale at the end of the first 30 minutes of this game. St. Paul's Milagiriya were able to run away with the game in no small thanks to the efforts of the number 38 out in front. Court-to-court player, she was scoring the bulk for St. Paul's Milagiriya. Here we go, St. Paul's Milagiriya with the restart. Leomini more than happy to spend some time. Smile on her face. Sigeli just running the set piece here, trying to rattle that defensive line. That's what can happen if you become complacent. Certainly Devi Balika will be looking to exploit that. Omindi throwing it down the wing. Lot of open space here for Devi Balika to try something out. The number 6 giving it to Omindi. Good block there from the goalie, but nonetheless a good shot from Omindi. Once again, that footwork just brilliant from the SPM goalie, denying 2 points. Here's the number 6 trying to get something through. That number 9 down the middle has been so effective for the Balika. They've been able to get their shots on goal. 8-19 is the story. It's not looking good for the Balika College, who need to absolutely up their game here. Leomini just decreasing the tempo here. They haven't been too aggressive in front of goal, just trying to spend time and tire the Devians out. His substitution here. The 11 for SPM coming in. Here's the number 9 trying to drive. Could be an opportunity. And first points on the board after halftime is for the Balika, reducing that deficit to 10 points. If they can get it to single digits.
Another goal for Devi Balika Vidyalaya. Please put your hands together for them.
This is the risk factor here. St. Paul's Milagiriya have been complacent for the first couple of minutes here. Leomini might be looking to drive it in with that huge overhand lob. There we go. Misses everything but the top bar. Could be a chance for that long overhead lob. No, Omindi. Oh dear. Poor. Here's Sigeli. Unselfish from Leomini with a massive assist. And St. Paul's reaching the 20-point mark. The Balika need to be careful here. Any momentum they begin can quickly be broken down by points on the board for St. Paul's Milagiriya. Absolutely no one defending. Poor Leomini once again finding points on the board. Now they are looking. Here's Omindi. They're looking for that low lob, and the St. Paul's defender knows it. The goalkeeper using her legs to good effect. It's a corner for the Balika. Once again with the low block. Multiple points denied for the Balika. The low block for the tall lanky defender for St. Paul's Milagiriya, working wonders, denying the Balika of any possible points. But the girls in maroon are looking a completely different outfit, except for momentary lapses in concentration. Leomini looking to play the slow game here, passing it on to the number 9, trying to create a space of pocket for herself. St. Paul's Milagiriya looking to create space for themselves, looking for that overhead drive. Not a long lob for Mindi, who looks to be driving it in, might be looking to create some space. Overhead pass to the number 9, and the number 5 might have been able to create some space for herself, but those two wingers, the number 5 and the number 8, have just not been too effective down the wing. It's gonna have to be Omindi and the number 9 for the Balika, unless the two wingers are able to put some force into those shots. Omindi and the number 9 once again driving it forwards, trying to create some space for the number 15 down the wing. Good intercept by Omindi, and they get to 10 points. Good stuff here from the Balika. Just the one timeout left in the game. Here's Sigeli looking to drive it in. with a body feint. Yeah, that's a penalty for Sigeli, I'm wagering. Yes, it is. She'll be looking to make quick work of this. Couple of feints, commits to it, but doesn't find the back of the net. Long lob. Oh dear. Sigeli. It's not looking good for her. Let's hope it's nothing but a small niggle. The referee asking the players not to crowd the injured fellow. All cheers for Sigeli. She's done an amazing role for St. Paul's Milagiriya. This will definitely be a blow for this outfit. They have looked so strong with her in it. Let's take a look at what exactly happened. Yeah, just coming down really hard on her foot. The number 9 driving it in now. There we go. Dropping down the deficit to just 10 points now. The number 9 looking to be more proactive, being locked down defensively. Bit of rough play there between the two sides. They need to be careful. Restart. They're playing a completely different side as Leomini has been given a bit of leeway. Yeah, she was always not doing too good after that elbow slam into the neck. There looks of concerns for supporters on both sides. Let's hope it's nothing too serious. Let's hope she makes a quick recovery here. Injury prone second half here for both sides. With the long overhead lob once again. Devi Balika looking a more powerful side here. And St. Paul's Milagiriya are playing at half strength, but they have been forced to call Leomini back into the game because they haven't looked as dangerous in front of goal without her in that side. Leomini looking to conserve her energy. Looking for that long overhead lob. Oh dear. The new goalie failing on first assignment. Here's the number 6. Omindi going for that long overhead lob, but not finding her aim to be good and true. 10 minutes gone on our clock. It's the last 20 minutes of the game. Plenty of time for the Balika to find their feet and try something. Leomini for that big overhead, but good block by the new goalie coming in off the bench. Trying to go for that intercept. That was a good attempt. If they can lock down Leomini in that defensive role, that could prove wonders. The number 9, this goalie has been amazing, using her long levers to get the job done for St. Paul's Milagiriya. Leomini once again being handed the talismanic role here. She's looking to delegate her role, going for that long overhead lob, misses but just by mere inches. St. Paul still looking a very dangerous outfit. Devi Balika not making too many substitutions here, just trying to get something going. Going for that long overhead lob, but the number 15 has been locked down by that defense. They've been good at those ISOs, crowding out players. Omindi with the good feint. That's another point on the board for the Balika College. Leomini once again, their reactivity as an outfit is so good. Immediately you can see the tempo increase, going for that overhead. Good block by Devi Balika, but they need to be proactive on the rebound. They're taking too much time on the setup, giving those defenders some time. Here's the number 7 trying to move down the wing into the center. Again, role identification is something that has to be clarified from the dugout for Devi Balika. Just a lack of clarity regarding what each of the players are supposed to do. For the new-blooded players, Omindi and the number 6 and the number 9, however, have been trying to drive it in. Good block from Devi Balika again. Immediately a positive result. Leomini just trying to come in for the attack, but so far has been unsuccessful. Let's hope it stays that way for the Balika's sake. Trying to go for that long overhead block. If they can just try and use some deception along the wing and try and pass it on back to the number 9, where they can poach it from the middle. Leomini not looking to drive it overhead, but trying to make space for themselves. Good block from the goalie. Again, not opting for that lob pass for fear of interceptions. Number 6 just finding her feet now. Omindi, the talisman for the Balika, moving the points deficit back to 10 points. It's always been a tough uphill battle, but this young woman has been the reason that they've been able to stay in the game for as long as they have. Omindi, court-to-court player. Her and that number 6 have been instrumental. Udamsa trying to see what Omindi can do. Loses possession with a long lob. Let's see what Leomini has been able to do. She's not been able to be locked down, but losing her composure. This was always bound to happen. You can't be on afterburners all the time. Eventually you're going to lose your composure, and when you gas out, that's so dangerous. Number 6 almost finds her footing there. Number 15 now trying to work her way through the wings. This is good stuff here from the Balika. They found some energy. The Balika could have had the intercept. Just needs a bit more game awareness, and they'll be looking a very complete outfit that can bring the fight. Lockdown there, Omindi and Udanma working in tandem here, just trying to drive it forwards. Udanma with a long overhead lob, but good stuff here from the goalie for St. Paul's. Leomini driving it in, down the wings, finds the net after what seems like an eternity, which tells you a story really, because every 15-20 seconds. Oh dear, another injury. This time could be a costly one for the Balika. It's Omindi, the talisman for the Balika. Not good here. Replay of what happened, unlucky. Good to see Omindi back on her feet, being cheered on by their supporters, the Balika Vidyalaya. Yeah, I think she's being benched. I think against her will, she will have to be benched. Yeah, Omindi is back. The referee just having a word with the coaching staff. Omindi being called back out towards the dugout. Bit of confusion here. Udanma trying to drive it in. She will have to take center stage here. Nippy player, but gets a good effort in with the long lob here. Falls into no man's land, but collected by St. Paul's Milagiriya. Being driven in slowly but surely. Trying to work that middle defense. Yeah, while play is going on, one of the players for Devi Balika College receiving the necessary medical care and attention. Let's hope she makes a speedy recovery of that neck slam that she received. Trying to go for goal there. Good effort by the number 7 who has found her feet. Yeah, that defense is not moving an inch. Trying to drive it down the wings. Good block. If they're going for that ploy, that goalie needs to be alive. And so far, she's doing a magnificent job for the Balika College. Here's Udanma trying to drive it in. Taking on a lot of defenders. Working down the wings here, both sides now. Instead of trying to go for that overhead. Good effort from the wing. St. Paul's Milagiriya 25, the Balika 13, looking to be an increasingly uphill battle. Here's Omindi, who has made a return into the playing 7. Difficult for the Balika, but they can make something happen if they keep their wits about them. No one on that wing, but that number 7 just not being able to pick the gap. Composure in front of the net has been something that has been a decisive differentiating factor between these two sides. Omindi immediately making an effect. Once again,
Please give it up for Devi Vidyalaya as they score another goal.
Moving the points deficit closer to 10. Leomini with the ball in hand after what feels like an eternity. That tells you the story. She's been so instrumental, especially during that first half. You know, that possession, she could be a team of her own. That was a good lob, poor defensive work from the Balika. They need to be more proactive. Omindi driving it from the back. This young woman will have to put her hand up. Good intercept from Udanma. These two and the number 9 for the Balika, Tinuli, have been so instrumental. Just 10 minutes left on the clock for the Balika. Omindi finding a bit of space, and she puts another point on the board, moving the points deficit to 10 points. This has always been the story for the Balika, thanks to the efforts of Omindi. But right now is where they need to put their hands up and believe in themselves and get themselves over the hill that they just not have been able to climb. Udanma with the long lob to the number 15. Can she make some space for herself and go for shot? Not likely. Again, composure in front of the net has cost them a lot of points. Bit of a stop-start affair here in the final moments. The Balika need to be that much more proactive if they don't want to let St. Paul's Milagiriya run away with the game. Leomini happy to spend her sweet time. The Devian goalie has been instrumental. That's a good lob. Can they make space for themselves here and drop the deficit to 9 points in what seems like forever? The number 7 again unlucky. Here's Udanma with the lob. Number 7, the number 15 rather, just trying to make space for herself there, traveling. Here's Leomini with the overhead, not looking as effective with that shot, but still a dangerous operator. Good stuff from the Devian goalie. Leomini kicking gears up a notch, taking on a couple of defenders with going for that overhand. Brilliant stuff from the Devian goalie. Well handled by the Devian defense, who have had some measure of difficulty getting back to the backcourt. Udanma frustrated at the lack of options here. Omindi happy to delegate. Udanma is now the court-to-court player. That defensive line is looking solid. Leomini once again with the drive, finding points on the board. More than an hour into the game, still finding opportunities to do her part. Surely in contention for player of the match. Omindi being locked down defensively. Just around a couple of minutes left. Just the 5. Oh, Omindi unlucky. She has been so effective in front of goal. One would think if luck was on her side, she'd have at least 10 more points to her name. Sun beating down throughout the gaps in the blinders at the Sugathadasa indoor with that overhead lob. Unlucky, but by the barest of margins here. Udanma once again trying to work something out from the back. Down the middle. That defensive wall is looking solid. Good intercept from St. Paul's Milagiriya. Here's Leomini, who finds the back of the net once again, moving St. Paul's closer and closer to that 30-point mark. First points on the board for the number 7 for the Balika, Manisha, who was strong with her positioning but just couldn't find composure in front of the shot. Devi Balika. Here's Udanma, who tries to go for goal but misses everything, goes for the blinder. Leomini being locked down effectively now, but is it too little too late for Devi Balika? With the long lob, here's Omindi. Oh, unlucky, misses the sidebar. Not good for we could just have a look at what happened. Oh dear, just finding it difficult to find a footing. Devi Balika will be doing their utmost to make sure that this player does not walk off the court. She's been so talismanic, so instrumental to whatever points they've been able to post up on the board. They cannot afford to lose her. She's on her feet, which is a good sign. But she's being walked off the court. Round of applause all around. Well deserved. Top-notch player during what has been an incredibly difficult game for Devi Balika. Restart for St. Paul's Milagiriya. Leomini happy to take her time, going for that overhead lob. Udanma driving it in, going for that overhead lob. Just finding the momentum. Unable to go for goal. Manisha with the points. Unfortunately, not allowed by the referee. That was a good rebound. Leomini just opting to take the back seat. Good block from the Devi, and Udanma needs to drive the ball in. Here's Manisha going down the wing, passing it on to the number 15 who goes down the middle. Can she find goal? Brilliant run from Devi Balika. Unfortunately, not quite enough to get past the goalie. Leomini, still smile on her face. Such a composed player who has not looked rattled at all. Just trying to find space for themselves. The big number 3. Overjoyed to find herself in the points. The number 15 finally finding herself. These are the last moments of the game. High octane. Leomini putting on the afterburners now, trying to find herself in the points. She's back on her feet. Yeah, less than a minute left on our clock. I'll be wagering that there might be 3 or 4 minutes extra to account for certain discrepancies because of the stoppages in play. Going for the long overhead. Devi and goalie doing her job up until the very end. The number 15 might be able to go for goal. Yes, she does. This is what the Balika needed, but if they can get at least a couple more points on the board and get the points deficit down to a respectable amount, this might be a moral victory for them. They will be playing for pride. They will be playing for their alma mater. They will be playing for their college colors. They will be playing for their fellow students. Just haphazard throws from both sides. Omindi back in the game, throwing it off to Manisha, who's unable to keep the ball in hand. 30 minutes on our clock. This might be the last couple of minutes on the referee's watch as well. Leomini just trying to work something through. Something tells me she might want to go for goal herself. Here she goes. Finds the back of the net. Gets closer to 30. Manisha throwing it back in. The big number 15 throwing it back to Omindi, who's been locked down. Omindi trying to work herself down the wing. Well blocked by the St. Paul's goalie. Here's Udanma. She's nippy and looks gassed out. Here's Leomini going for possibly the last point. She wants it and she gets it. So close, but yet so far referee does not allow it. Given the caliber of player that Leomini is, she won't be too happy with herself if she allows the game to go into full time. Brilliant block. Long lob. Leomini will look for that intercept. Yeah, she's looking for that final goal to go for 30 points. Dribbling. Omindi passing it on to the 15. Here's Manisha just passing it on. And that's full time. And St. Paul's Milagiriya have done it in style, winning the first ever battle of the fast break. The handball encounter, which is sure to go down in history as one of the storied memories between these two schools. And St. Paul's Milagiriya will be walking home with their supporters with nothing but smiles on their face. So hard fought, so surgical, such chemistry in their ranks, such composure in front of goal. They have no one but themselves to pat themselves on the back. This victory was not handed to them. Hard fought till the very end. And that's the lad in the middle leading the vanguard, Leomini. And that's the story for you folks. Need I say more? In fine spirit, St. Paul's Milagiriya have been able to get themselves over the line. That's full-time confirmation for you folks. 29-18. Devi Balika were absolutely trounced. They started pulling themselves up by the bootstraps, but by the end it was too little too late for them. St. Paul's Milagiriya looked a bit gassed out towards the end, but they had done all the hard work in the first half and they have no one but themselves to give credit for. This was their victory. Nothing was handed to them. As for the Balika, their spirits won't be too crushed. They have played for school pride, and in that respect both sides have won a magnificent victory. In the end, the collegiate spirit of both schools, the sense of sisterhood, has won. These were the highlights of the second half. Leomini looked more than happy to play second fiddle, but frequently found herself in front of goal, converting huge starts. Omindi coming back into the game with a vengeance. The look on her face told everything, but there were a couple of injury scares for both sides, with players being taken off the court and lots of haphazard blocks. Yeah, Omindi being talismanic for the Balika, but Leomini, of course, finding herself among the points, and it's a big hurrah for St. Paul's Milagiriya. There we go. Confident, and why wouldn't they be? They deserve this. They deserve that celebration and more. It's gonna be celebrations well into the day. So much pride, and what effort it took them to get themselves over the line. It's that girl in the 38 jumper who was able to set up such a strong foundation for St. Paul's Milagiriya. And with that, folks, with the breakdown of the full-time confirmation, we'll be going to a short commercial break and we'll be going into the presentation ceremony on the other side. Stay tuned.
Elevate your game with the Papare, Sri Lanka's ultimate sports destination. Experience every heartbeat and every goal like never before. From cricket to football, rugby to athletics, we capture the spirit of every sport that ignites our passion. Relive legendary moments, exclusive interviews and expert commentary, all in one place. Join us for live coverage of thrilling matches and events, bringing you closer to the action. Together, we unite a nation through the love of sports. Tune in to the Papare, your home for all things sports. Live the action, feel the excitement. In the heart of Colombo, where pride is inherited and rivalries are written in history.
And is out caught. That was a good catch.
This is not just another match. This is the battle for Luke Shield glory. Two giants, two legacies, one battle. Catch all the action live on the Papare 2, Dialog Play App and ThePapare.com. The biggest spectacle in franchise cricket, Indian Premier League, is back for another thrilling season. Sri Lanka's finest stars and the global icons are ready to set the grandest stage of them all ablaze. Every six that shakes the stadium, every Yorker that silences the crowd, every moment that stops your heart. Don't just watch it, feel it. Live on ThePapare.com.
This happened. Oh, what an effort. Both
Schools Rugby is back. The Dialog Schools Rugby Knockouts 2026 ignites the season. Defending dreams or shattering rivals? Who's claiming glory in 2026? Watch the action live on Dialog Television, Dialog Play, and ThePapare.com. Schools Rugby Unleashed. The New Zealand under 85 kilo Warriors return to Sri Lanka for another doubleheader as the Tuskers prepare for thrilling challenges in Colombo and Kandy. Can Sri Lanka make an impact this time around, or will the visitors once again walk away with the trophy? Catch all the action live on the Papare 1 HD, the Dialog Play App, and ThePapare.com as the historic series unfolds for a second time.
Elevate your game with the Papare, Sri Lanka's ultimate sports destination. Together, we unite a nation through the love of sports. Tune in to the Papare, your home for all things sports. Live the action, feel the excitement.
හයේ පහරබල් දියුණු කඩුලු දවා ගැනීම මේ කිසිම දෙයක් මගහැරගන්න එපා කොතැන සිටියත් ඕනෑම වෙලාවක සජීවීව IPL අත්දැකීම දැන් ඔබේ අතටම. IPL උන්මාදයට Dialog Play සමග එක්වන්න. අදම Dialog Play App එක ඩවුන්ලෝඩ් කර රුපියල් 278ක් රීලෝඩ් කරන්න. Star Sports නාලිකාව ඔස්සේ මුළු IPL තරගාවලියම සජීවීව නරඹන්න.
Epic rivalries reignited. The big match season is here. Iconic showdowns from Colombo to Kandy, from Mathura to Jaffna. Battle of the Blues, Maroons, Saints, Brothers, and so much more. Witness history as the future stars clash for glory. Big Match Season 2026. Live on Sri Lanka's #1 sports channel. ලොව අංක එකේ ක්‍රිකට් සැනකෙලිය නැවතත් තියුණු තරගකාරීත්වයේ උණුසුම දැන් ඔබේ නිවසටම IPL උන්මාදයට Dialog Television සමග එක්වන්න. රුපියල් 397කට IPL පාස් සක්‍රිය කරගෙන මුළු IPL සීසන් එකම Star Sports නාලිකාව ඔස්සේ නරඹන්න. සක්‍රිය කිරීමට ඔබේ දුරකථනයෙන් on හිස්තැනක් DTV හිස්තැනක් ඔබේ ගෙනුම් අංකය හිස්තැනක් 2026 ලෙස ටයිප් කර 0770 679 SMS කරන්න.
This is not just cricket. This is passion. This is pride. This is Pakistan's biggest T20 spectacle. Watch every boundary, every wicket, every unforgettable moment of the Pakistan Super League 2026. Live on the Papare 1 and the Papare 1 HD, Dialog Play App and ThePapare.com. Elevate your game with the Papare, Sri Lanka's ultimate sports destination. Experience every heartbeat and every goal like never before. From cricket to football, rugby to athletics, we capture the spirit of every sport that ignites our passion. Relive legendary moments, exclusive interviews and expert commentary, all in one place. Join us for live coverage of thrilling matches and events, bringing you closer to the action. Together, we unite a nation through the love of sports. Tune in to the Papare, your home for all things sports. Live the action. Feel the excitement. In the heart of Colombo, where pride is inherited and rivalries are written in history.
And it's out caught. That was a good catch.
This is not just another match. This is the battle for Luke Shield glory. Two giants, two legacies, one battle. Catch all the action live on the Papare 2, Dialog Play App and ThePapare.com. The biggest spectacle in franchise cricket, Indian Premier League, is back for another thrilling season. Sri Lanka's finest stars and the global icons are ready to set the grandest stage of them all ablaze. Every six that shakes the stadium, every yorker that silences the crowd, every moment that stops your heart. Don't just watch it, feel it. Live on ThePapare.com.
This happened. Oh, what an effort.
Schools Rugby is back. The Dialog Schools Rugby Knockouts 2026 ignites the season. Defending dreams or shattering rivals? Who's claiming glory in 2026? Watch the action live on Dialog Television, Dialog Play, and ThePapare.com. Schools Rugby Unleashed. The New Zealand under-85 kilo Warriors return to Sri Lanka for another doubleheader as the Tuskers prepare for thrilling challenges in Colombo and Kandy. Can Sri Lanka make an impact this time around, or will the visitors once again walk away with the trophy? Catch all the action live on the Papare 1 HD, the Dialog Play App, and ThePapare.com as the historic series unfolds for a second time.
Elevate your game with the Papare, Sri Lanka's ultimate sports destination. Together, we unite a nation through the love of sports. Tune in to the Papare, your home for all things sports. Live the action, feel the excitement.
හයේ පහරබල් දියුණු කඩුලු දවා ගැනීම මේ කිසිම දෙයක් මගහැරගන්න එපා කොතැන සිටියත් ඕනෑම වෙලාවක සජීවීව IPL අත්දැකීම දැන් ඔබේ අතටම IPL උන්මාදයට Dialog Play සමග එක්වන්න අදම Dialog Play app එක ඩවුන්ලෝඩ් කර රුපියල් 268ක් රීලෝඩ් කරන්න Star Sports නාලිකා ඔස්සේ මුළු IPL තරගාවලියම සජීවීව නරඹන්න
Epic rivalries reignited. The big match season is here. Iconic showdowns from Colombo to Kandy, from Mathura to Jaffna. Battle of the Blues, Maroons, Saints, Brothers, and so much more. Witness history as the future stars clash for glory. Big match season 2026.
Check one, two. Check one, two. Check 1, 2, 3. 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 Check 1.
කවුද ගම්බිය කරන්නේ? එනවස් කරන්නේ කවුද බලන්න.
අපි මෙතන ඉඳන් කරන්නේ දැන් ප්‍රයිස් ටේබල් එක ගාවට ඉන්න කියලා ගියා යානේ. ඔය අර කෝලට
ඉඳන් කරන්නේ.
කොමර්ස් මේ ටිකක් කියන්න මොනවද?
මුළු IPL season එකම Star Sports නාලිකා ඔස්සේ නමමන්න. සක්‍රිය කිරීමට ඔබේ දුරකථනයෙන් on හිස්තන හිස්තන ඔබේ ගෙනුම් අංකය හිස්තන 2026 ලෙස ටයිප් කර 0770 679 SMS කරන්න.
This is pride. This is Pakistan's biggest T20 spectacle. Watch every battle, every win, every unforgettable moment of the Pakistan Super League 2026. Live on the Papare 1 and the Papare 1 HD. Dialog
Sunday.
Play App and the Papare.com.
Check 1, check. Live එක යනවා live එක.
Ultimate sports destination. Experience every heart and every goal like never before.
Check 1. Check. එනවනේ. හරි.
Rugby to athletics. We capture the spirit of every sport that unites our passion. Real legendary moments, exclusive interviews, and expert commentary, all in one place. Join us for live coverage of thrilling matches and events, bringing you closer to the action. Together, we unite a nation through the love of sports. Tune in to the Papare, your home for all things sports. Live the action, feel the excitement. In the heart of Colombo, where pride is inherited, and rivalries are written in history.
And he's out caught. That was a good catch.
This is not just another match. This is the battle for Luke Shield glory. Two giants, two legacies, one battlefield. Catch all the action live on the Papare 2, Dialog Play App and ThePapare.com. The biggest spectacle in franchise cricket, Indian Premier League, is back for another thrilling season. Sri Lanka's finest stars and the global icons are ready to set the grandest stage of them all ablaze. Every six that shakes the stadium, every yorker that silences the crowd, every moment that stomps your heart. Don't just watch it, feel it. Live on ThePapare.com.
This happened. Oh, what an effort. Good technique.
Schools Rugby is back. The Dialog Schools Rugby Knockouts 2026 ignites the season. Defending dreams or shattering rivals? Who's claiming glory in 2026? Watch the action live on Dialog Television, Dialog Play, and ThePapare.com. Schools Rugby Unleashed. The New Zealand under 85 kilo Warriors return to Sri Lanka for another double-header as the Tuskers prepare for thrilling challenges in Colombo and Kandy. Can Sri Lanka make an impact this time around, or will the visitors once again walk away with the trophy? Catch all the action live on the Papare 1 HD, the Dialog Play App, and ThePapare.com as the historic series unfolds for a second time.
Elevate your game with the Papare, Sri Lanka's ultimate sports destination. Together, we unite a nation through the love of sports. Tune in to the Papare, your home for all things sports. Live the action, feel the excitement.
හයේ පහරවල් දියුණු කඩුලු දවා ගැනීම මේ කිසිම දෙයක් මගහැරගන්න එපා කොතැන සිටියත් ඕනෑම වෙලාවක සජීවීව IPL අත්දැකීම දැන් ඔබේ අතටම IPL උන්මාදයට Dialog Play සමග එක්වන්න අදම Dialog Play app එක ඩවුන්ලෝඩ් කර රුපියල් 268ක් රීලෝඩ් කරන්න Star Sports නාලිකා ඔස්සේ මුළු IPL තරගාවලියම සජීවීව නරඹන්න
Epic rivalries reignited. The big match season is here. Iconic showdowns from Colombo to Kandy, from Mathura to Jaffna. Battle of the Blues, Maroons, Saints, Brothers, and so much more. Witness history as the future stars clash for glory. Big Match Season 2026. Live on Sri Lanka's #1 sports channel. ලොව අංක එකේ ක්‍රිකට් සැනකෙළිය නැවතත් තියුණු තරගකාරීත්වයේ උණුසුම දැන් ඔබේ නිවසටම IPL උන්මාදයට Dialog Television සමග එක්වන්න රුපියල් 397කට IPL පාස් එක සක්‍රිය කරගෙන මුළු IPL සීසන් එකම Star Sports නාලිකා ඔස්සේ නරඹන්න සක්‍රිය කිරීමට ඔබේ දුරකථනයෙන් on හිස්තැන DTV හිස්තැන ඔබේ ගෙනුම් අංකය හිස්තැන 2026 ලෙස ටයිප් කර 0770 679 679ට SMS කරන්න
This is not just cricket. This is passion. This is pride. This is Pakistan's biggest T20 spectacle. Watch every boundary, every wicket, every unforgettable moment of the Pakistan Super League 2026. Live on the Papare 1 and the Papare 1 HD, Dialog Play App and ThePapare.com. Elevate your game with the Papare, Sri Lanka's ultimate sports destination. Experience every heartbeat and every goal like never before. From cricket to football, rugby to athletics, we capture the spirit of every sport that ignites our passion. Relive legendary moments, exclusive interviews and expert commentary, all in one place. Join us for live coverage of thrilling matches and events, bringing you closer to the action. Together, we unite a nation through the love of sports. Tune in to the Papare, your home for all things sports. Live the action, feel the excitement. In the heart of Colombo, where pride is inherited and rivalries are written in history.
And he's out caught. That was a good catch.
This is not just another match. This is the battle for Luke Shield glory. Two giants, two legacies, one battle. Catch all the action live on the Papare 2, Dialog Play App and ThePapare.com. The biggest spectacle in franchise cricket, Indian Premier League, is back for another thrilling season. Sri Lanka's finest stars and the global icons are ready to set the grandest stage of them all ablaze. Every six that shakes the stadium, every Yorker that silences the crowd, every moment that stops your heart. Don't just watch it, feel it. Live on ThePapare.com.
This happened. Oh, what an effort. Good technique.
Schools Rugby is back. The Dialog Schools Rugby Knockouts 2026 ignites the season. Defending dreams or shattering rivals? Who's claiming glory in 2026? Watch the action live on Dialog Television, Dialog Play, and ThePapare.com. Schools Rugby Unleashed. The New Zealand under 85 kilo Warriors return to Sri Lanka for another doubleheader as the Tuskers prepare for thrilling challenges in Colombo and Kandy. Can Sri Lanka make an impact this time around, or will the visitors once again walk away with the trophy? Catch all the action live on the Papare 1 HD, the Dialog Play App, and ThePapare.com as the historic series unfolds for a second time.
Elevate your game with the Papare, Sri Lanka's ultimate sports destination. Together, we unite a nation through the love of sports. Tune in to the Papare, your home for all things sports. Live the action, feel the excitement.
හයේ පහරවල් දියුණු කඩුලු දවා ගැනීම මේ කිසිම දෙයක් මගහැරගන්න එපා කොතැන සිටියත් ඕනෑම වෙලාවක සජීවීව IPL අත්දැකීම දැන් ඔබේ අතටම IPL උන්මාදයට Dialog Play සමග එක්වන්න අදම Dialog Play app එක ඩවුන්ලෝඩ් කර රුපියල් 268ක් රීලෝඩ් කරන්න Star Sports නාලිකා ඔස්සේ මුළු IPL තරගාවලියම සජීවීව නරඹන්න
Epic rivalries reignited. The big match season is here. Iconic showdowns from Colombo to Kandy, from Mathura to Jaffna. Battle of the Blues, Maroons, Saints, Brothers, and so much more. Witness history as the future stars clash for glory. Big Match Season 2026. Big Match Season 2026. Live on Sri Lanka's #1 sports channel. Sri Lanka's #1 sports channel. ලොව අංක එකේ ක්‍රිකට් සැනකෙලිය නැවතත් තියුණු තරගකාරීත්වයේ උණුසුම දැන් ඔබේ නිවසටම IPL උන්මාදයට ඩයලොග් ටෙලිවිෂන් සමග එක්වන්න රුපියල් 397කට IPL පාසික සක්‍රිය කරගෙන මුළු IPL සීසන් එකම ස්ටාර් ස්පෝර්ට්ස් නාලිකා ඔස්සේ නමමන්න සක්‍රිය කිරීමට ඔබේ දුරකථනයෙන් ඔන් හිස්තැනක් DTV හිස්තැනක් ඔබේ ගෙනුම් අංකය හිස්තැනක් 2026 ලෙස ටයිප් කර 0770 679 679ට SMS කරන්න.
This is not just cricket. This is passion. This is pride. This is Pakistan's biggest T20 spectacle. Watch every boundary, every wicket, every unforgettable moment of the Pakistan Super League 2026. Live on the Papare 1 and the Papare 1 HD, Dialog Play App and ThePapare.com. Elevate your game with the Papare, Sri Lanka's ultimate sports destination. Experience every heartbeat and every goal like never before. From cricket to football, rugby to athletics, we capture the spirit of every sport that
Welcome back, folks, to the battle of the fast break, the first ever handball encounter between St. Paul's College, Milagiriya and Balika Vidyalaya, Colombo 8. When the dust has settled, the scoreboard has read to favor of St. Paul's Milagiriya, but that's enough from our end. Let's hand it over to the officials overseeing the presentation ceremony. Over to you, folks.
Ladies and gentlemen, after an exciting day of handball, we now move on to the award ceremony. Today we recognize outstanding players who have demonstrated exceptional skills and dedication. First of all, I would like to appreciate the enthusiasm and sporty spirit of our teachers. For that, I warmly welcome our guest of honor, the President of the Handball Federation and the Sri Lankan Olympic Committee member, Mr. Upali Rajapaksa, the Chairman of the Army Handball team, the Major General K.N.D. Karunapala, the Madam Principal of St. Paul's Girls' School Milagiriya, Mrs. Naomi Dasanayaka, the Madam Principal of Devi Balika Vidyalaya, Mrs. Nilakshika Hapugoda, the Deputy Principal and the Extracurricular Sports in charge of Devi Balika Vidyalaya, Mr. W.N.K. Vikramasinghe, our dear Deputy Principal of St. Paul's Girls' School Milagiriya, Mrs. Krishani Koralage, the Assistant Principals of St. Paul's Girls' School Milagiriya, Mrs. Lakmali Tennakon, Mrs. Samanthi Senanayaka and Mrs. Lakmini Kularatna, the teacher in charge of sports in St. Paul's Girls' School Milagiriya, Mrs. Sarala Vidana Patirana, the teacher in charge of sports in Devi Balika Vidyalaya, Mrs. Upeksha Dulanjali, the teacher in charge of the handball team of St. Paul's Girls' School Milagiriya, Mrs. Ajanta Disoisa, the teacher in charge of the handball team of Devi Balika Vidyalaya, Mr. Nalaka Devapriya, the coach of St. Paul's Girls' School Milagiriya, Mr. Rosh Chaturanga, the coach of Devi Balika Vidyalaya, Mr. L.H. Umesh Kavinga. First of all, we would like to appreciate the enthusiasm and sporting spirit shown by our beloved teachers who stepped onto the field and took part in special teachers cricket match and netball match. It is now time to present the Teachers Championship Award. The Teachers Championship Award is presented to Devi Balika Vidyalaya, Colombo 8. Let us give them a big round of applause. The runners-up of the prefects match in Battle of the Fast Break goes to St. Paul's Girls' School, Milagiriya. Please give them a big round of applause. Now it's time to recognize the champions of the private match. Both teams played with incredible energy and teamwork, making it a truly exciting contest. The championship trophy of the prefect match is awarded to Devi Balika Vidyalaya, Colombo 8. Congratulations, champions. Now let's move on to the Under 14 event. Under 14 runners-up award goes to Devi Balika Vidyalaya, Colombo 8. Under 14 Championship Award goes to St. Paul's Girls' School, Milagiriya. The best player of Under 14 goes to Devi from St. Paul's Girls' School, Milagiriya. Now let's move on to the defensive field. Defense plays a crucial role in every great victory. These players showed outstanding strength, awareness, and determination in protecting the goal. The best defender award goes to O.N. Karam, Devi Balika Vidyalaya, Colombo 8. Now we recognize the player who stood as the last line of defense and delivered remarkable saves under pressure. The best goalkeeper of the match award goes to KLD Sethini from St. Paul's Girls' School, Milagiriya. A great match is never complete without powerful attacking performances. These players showed incredible speed, accuracy and confidence in leading the attacks and creating scoring opportunities for the team. The best attacker of the match goes to SJ Sojilat from St. Paul's Girls' School, Milagiriya. Ladies and gentlemen, this next award goes to a player who demonstrated exceptional talent, skill and determination throughout the match. This player stood out on the court and made a remarkable impact on the game. The best player of the match award goes to... Ridmi, who do you think that award goes to?
දක්ෂතාව උපායශීලීත්වය සහ ක්‍රීඩාශීලීත්වය මැනවින් විදහා දක්වමින් ක්‍රීඩාපිටිය තමන් සතු කරගත් ඒ අභිමානවත් ක්‍රීඩිකාව ලෙසින් ගෝල 40ක් වාර්තා කරමින් Battle of the Fast Break මහා සංග්‍රාමයේ දක්ෂතම ක්‍රීඩිකාව ලෙසින් අභිෂේක ලබන්නේ.
The best player of the match award goes to... The best player of the match award goes to Levmani Balachandra from St. Paul's Girls' School, Milagiriya.
Ladies and gentlemen, the moment you all been waiting for. The runners-up of the Battle of the Fast Break Award goes to Devi Balika Vidyalaya, Colombo 8.
ඉස්කෝලේ මම කියන්නම්. මම එහෙනම් ඉස්කෝලේත් කියලා ඊට පස්සේ ඔයාලට දෙනවා ආපහු කියන්න එක. එහෙම කියමු. දැන් ඉංග්‍රීසියෙන් කියලා නැත එක මේක වෙන. මම කියලා කොක් කියන්න ඕන නැහැ. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we have arrived at the most awaited moment of the day. After an intense and thrilling battle on the court, it is time to announce the champions of this historic handball big match. The champions of the Battle of Fast Break is St. Paul's Girls' School, Milagiriya.
පාසල් ක්‍රීඩා ඉතිහාසයේ ප්‍රථම වතාවට පැවැත්වෙන කාන්තා මහා handball තරගය වන Battle of the Fast Break මහා සංග්‍රාමයේ අභිමානවත් ශූරතාවය තම සතු කරගනිමින් ක්‍රීඩා වංශකතාවේ රන්නකුරින් තම පාසල් නාමය සනිටුහන් කරේ මිලාගිරිය ශාන්ත පවුලු බාලිකා විද්‍යාලය. ලංකාවේ ප්‍රථම බාලිකා handball මහා සංග්‍රාමයේ තරඟ වට 3.0ක් ලෙස ජයග්‍රහණය කරමින් කොළඹ දේවි බාලිකා විද්‍යාලය අභිබවා යමින් මිලාගිරිය ශාන්ත පාවුලු බාලිකා විද්‍යාලය අද සුගතදාස ගෘහස්ත ක්‍රීඩාංගණයේ තම අනසක පතුරවා ඇරියා. ලබා දෙන නැවතතාවක් ඔබ සැමගේ උණුසුම් අත්පරදානාදය.
Ladies and gentlemen, give a big round of applause to our champions of Battle of the Fast Break.
මෙය අවසානයක් නොව ක්‍රීඩා වංශකතාවේ නවම ආරම්භය සනිටුහන් කර සුවිශේෂී දිනයක්. ශ්‍රී ලංකා ඉතිහාසයේ ප්‍රථම වතාවට පැවැත් වූ බාලිකා හෑන්ඩ්බෝල් මහා තරගයේ අවසානය කරා කෙමින් කෙමින් අප ළඟා වෙනවා. Battle of the Fast Break මහා සංග්‍රාමයේ ඒ ජයග්‍රාහී නිල කුසලානය ලබා ගැනීමට මිලාගිරිය ශාන්ත පාවුලු බාලිකා විද්‍යාලයේ අභිමානවත් දිරිය ක්‍රීඩිකාවන්ට වේදිකාවට ආරාධනා කර සිටිනවා. උපායශීලීත්වය ක්‍රීඩා දක්ෂතාවය මැනවින් විදහා දැක්වුවා මේ දිරිය ක්‍රීඩිකාවන්ට ලබා දෙන අපගේ උණුසුම් මෝල්වර සන්හඬ.
And that's the tale for you folks. St. Paul's College Milagiriya is walking away with the trophy of the first ever inaugural Battle of the Fast Break. The inaugural handball encounter between the namesake winners and Devi Balika College. What a victory this is for both schools who have established what is sure to be a cherished sporting tradition in the Sri Lankan school sports circuit. And that just about wraps up our coverage of this inaugural edition of the Battle of the Fast Break, and we will be back with more sports coverage on the Papare, Sri Lanka's premier sports network. It's been a privilege. Have a good evening, and we'll see you the next time.
Epic rivalries reignited. The big match season is here. Iconic showdowns from Colombo to Devi, from Papare to Jaffna. Battle of the Blues, Maroons, Saints, Brothers, and so much more. Witness history as the future stars clash for glory. Big Match Season 2026. Live on Sri Lanka's #1 sports channel.
Stand by for opener.
Sri Lanka's #1 sports channel, ThePapare.
3, 2, 1, roll off.
ඉතින් ශ්‍රී ලංකාවේ අංකික ක්‍රීඩා නාලිකාව ThePapare සමග.
Welcome back to ThePapare.
Welcome to the live broadcast from ThePapare.
Good luck, guys. Good luck, everyone.
ThePapare, Sri Lanka's #1 television sports channel.